June 2015 S1 question 7, you might look at it thinking it's another normal distribution question, but then you should realise that we're talking about 12 sacks, so it's a sample of 12. So although the weight of the original sacks was normally distributed with a mean of 10.15, a standard deviation of 0.3, and so a variance of 0.3 squared, the sample of 12 of them, well, the mean stays exactly the same, but the variance will get 12 times smaller. So when our question says, what's the probability that the sample has got a mean of less than 10, we're just converting that it's 10, take away the mean, divided by the square root of this one, which is 0.3 over root 12. Remember, that's called the standard error, that part. Tapping that in and then standardizing gives you an answer of 0.0416. 0.0416. And that's 4 marks for that. I might as well keep going then. The second part of this gets you to do your 99% confidence interval, so you'll always draw your little confidence interval part here. We want 99% here, so that makes 0.5% in each of the ends, and the value we're looking up backwards is 0.995, and that 0.995 of course gives a 2.5758. Our confidence interval formula that you have to know is x bar plus or minus that value we've just had there, 2.5758, times by standard deviation over the square root of how many things in the sample. What's my n here? N is 40. Couldn't see it then for a minute. N is 40 there. Tapping that into the calculator gives you a confidence interval of 302.3 to 306.9, and I've rounded that carefully to 1 decimal place because it told me to do it to 1 decimal place. The claims then, the mean weight of the cat food is more than 300. Well, that seems a pretty good bet, doesn't it? I would agree with that, since, I don't know, I'd agree. I really would agree with it. I would agree with it since 300 is below the confidence whole confidence interval. So the whole of this confidence interval is above the 300, and so we would agree with that claim there. Claim 2 is a more interesting one. I'm looking for, usually in this one here, I'm looking for a list of data to try and see, well, one of them didn't work, but it's not here. So I'm going to go with my normal distribution rules here. Remember this, the mean of this thing here is 304. And if you do the mean, take away the standard deviation, it's that sort of idea that you should have at least sort of this 3 standard deviations from the mean in either direction. You would suggest here that just 1 standard deviation down. So I think I'll be doing like this. 304.6, take away just 1 standard deviation is lower than 300. So therefore, there are definitely going to be some that are lower than 300. So I wouldn't agree with that claim. Mark scheme for A was fine. B, lots of different possibilities there, because in S2 you'll find out that there are slight variations on what we've been saying there. And for those claims there, what do we have? So I said the first one I agreed with, and the second one I didn't agree with is what we've got there. Examiner's report and some of our scores there. And we're all done.